This video is sponsored by Phoenix PR Cards. If you need supplies of singles or splits for Cardfight Vanguard, especially the ones in the video, do check out Phoenix PR Cards today, and as a bonus, use the promo code MetaNerd to get an amazing 5% discount. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the MetaNerd channel. I am Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard Willdress. In this video, we'll be going through the promos that was actually being released for November 2023 for the JP side. Now this video was intended to be released like very early on, like at the start of November, and we're actually in the middle of November. That's mostly my fault. I just had to fall sick during that period and was unable to produce this video. Even now, I am not that well yet, as you notice from my voice. Of course, the promos in this video will only be for the JP side. English will be getting all these cards. It's just a question of when the English side is gonna get. I'm not sure if all these promos are going to be box toppers or anything of that sort, but I'm just gonna do this type of video every single month because there's going to be new promos every single month, which does kind of buff certain decks out there significantly, as well as, you know, reprint. Some of the promo reprints are going to be invaluable for certain decks depending on what card that was being reprinted. Without further ado, let's take a look at what are the promos for November 2023, and this month is going to be a really good month for certain decks. First and foremost is going to be the reprints. The reprints this time is like, it's not really the best, as well it's not really the worst thing, I would say. For Vanguard, it's just gonna reprint the monster card, where whenever he's boosted and that attack hit, you are able to countercharge one, if I'm not mistaken. It's a really good card. There's not a lot of cards nowadays that has this sort of skill. It's a reprint of a very old card. I think it's okay, even if you do get this card, it's not too bad. The worst one is Dark States. Dark States is Amazement Magician. Whenever she attacks, you're able to soul charge one. I don't think this card is really that good for now, because currently we have a much more better cards than soul charge, so I'm not too sure why they decided to reprint this card. There's still like a million other within Dark States that is you are able to reprint, so not too sure why they reprint. Brachial Force, like I mentioned, if you did watch the Shiranui video, this card is going to be really good inside Shiranui, so if you manage to open this card does have some value thanks to Shiranui bumping up this promo price, I would say. So the reprints, not that bad, not that good. I mean, mostly it's for Shiranui. The other two is whatever, and there's nothing much out of it. First and foremost is going to be the normal order card for Chronojet, Time Etching Footprint. Play this with Cost Counterblast 1 if you have a Chronojet Dragon Crest. Second, until the end of the battle, the Generation Break ability of the unit placed by this ability is active, regardless of the number of face-up G units in your G zone. Choose a unit card from your rearguard or soul, put it at the bottom of the deck, put it on the bottom of the deck. Search your deck for up to one unit card with grade +1 from that chosen card. Call it to rearguard circle and shuffle the deck. Second skill, auto. When this unit is discarded from hand, when paying the cost for strike, choose one of your Vanguard or Heart cards, and the cost of the card's next ability is reduced by Counterblast 1 until the end of turn. So yeah, after so long, Chronojet as well as do receive support in the form of promo cards, and I think Chronojet's support card, which is this card here, is really good. Going first with Chronojet isn't really that bad because of this card here. It allows a Generation Break unit to activate skill regardless of if you strike or not, is really nice, and it basically just time leaps whatever unit you have on the rearguard circle or soul, which is quite nice. You are able to 2-box anything, be it a board control, be it a draw card, depends on what situation you're in. You are able to just 2-box that card. I think is really good. And with the crest allowing you to treat grade 3 as a grade 0 is just super nice. But of course, it's more than likely you'll want to call out, I think, Upstream Dragon, because Upstream Dragon is able to just go down to grade 1 thanks to his own skill. So yeah, very good skill. Do be careful on what card you choose to return to the bottom of the deck, because if you choose a right deck card, that card will go back to the right deck instead of your main deck, which is something that you may want to avoid. Depends on what your board looks like. In terms of the second skill, since this card is a grade 3 card, you are able to just reduce one Counterblast off the Chronojet Strike skill, which means that return whatever opponent's rearguard to the bottom of the deck is essentially free, which is super nice. This does prevents the opponent from kind of counterblast deny you in a way, and you just return their stuff back to the bottom of the deck, which will hurt the opponent even more. So yeah, this card really good. Not too sure on how many copies you will want to run this card, but ideally I think you will want to run 4 because of how good of a utility this card provides for Chronojet going first, as well as when you start striding. Not too bad, and I'm not gonna be surprised if every single Chronojet player wants to get their hand on this card. Next, for Cater Sanctuary, we have Bringer of New Styles Sureas. Continuous Rigor Circle. During your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Alden in its card name, this unit gets 2k power. Second skill, Auto Rigor Circle. Once per turn, when your auto unit is placed on Rigor Circle by the ability of your Vanguard with Alden in its card name, cost Counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards and stand it. Can be used even if this unit is placed at the same time with another unit. So this card is basically a grade 0, which is an 8k booster whenever your Vanguard is Alden. So we all know that this card is specifically made for Alden, and this card will be a main target to be called from Alden's skill. As we all know, Alden does return a unit from the board to the hand, and you are able to superior call up to 2 units with the sum equals to whatever grade you return. Since this is a grade 0, it's actually a very flexible target in terms of what you call alongside this card, and it basically reduces the requirement for you to return like a much higher grade rearguard back to hand in order to superior call more stuff. You can just return the grade 2 and call back that grade 2 as well as this grade 0, because the sum is still going to be 2. Very nice design, I would say. The second skill basically allows Alden to attack for 5 times now. Alden at the moment is able to attack for 4 times, and thanks to this card here, although it causes 1 counterblast, it's able to allow Alden to attack for 5 times, which is very nice. But of course, the counterblast 1 might be a problem because there's really not much of a counter charge in terms of Alden's deck. Quite sad, but still they of course will need to kind of balance things out just a little bit. Next, for Lenorn, we have Unison of Emotion Parcea. Although when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle, other than during the battle phase, choose up to 1 card with the Unison Dress ability from your hand. Reveal it. If you reveal a card or your Vanguard is in the Unison Dress state, cost Soul Blast 1. Choose a card with different card names from this unit and grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from your drop and call it the Rigor Circle. Second skill, Auto Rigor Circle. At the beginning of your main phase, if your Vanguard is in the Unison Dress state, you may put this unit into the soul. This card I think is on the same level as the grade 1 card from the Jewel, you know, the Draco kit. You need to choose Leonarn Vivas from the hand to reveal it, if of course you are not on Leonarn Vivas, in order to even Soul Blast 1 to superior call something from the drop. If you do not have Leonarn Vivas in your hand, then this card is essentially a vanilla card, which is not really great. But if you do manage to, you know, activate this card basically just allows you to revive anything from the drop, which will makes your discard to ride really important, because in the early game basically whatever you discard is able to superior call by this unit skill. So this card is going to be really disgusting, and it's just going to make the whole rush mechanic, or you know, the aggression for Leonorn's early game even more disgusting. What's more, this card, although costs 1 soul, she basically replenished back the soul if she managed to survive until the next turn, and of course if the Vanguard is in Unison Dress, it's just technically free at that point. So yeah, very nice card. I'm not surprised Leonorn is just gonna be meta relevant as of now. Next, for Magnolia, surprisingly, we have Sylvan Beast Maleeva. Continuous, if your Vanguard is Sylvan Beast King of Calamity Magnolia Mass, this unit gets all of the following. Although when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle, cost Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets 5k power until the end of turn. If you did not counter charge this turn, counter charge 1. Second skill, Continuous Rigor Circle and Gardener Circle. This unit can intercept from the back row and gets shield plus 5k for each of your Dragon Tree marker. This card might just give some form of life to the Magnolia Mass deck. Currently, I'm a little bit sad to see that Magnolia Mass doesn't really have like a lot of plays, even for the local side. This card might just be really good inside Magnolia Mass deck. It's quite late in terms of activation because you need to be on Magnolia Mass in order to even activate his skill. So either turn 3 or turn 4, depending on if you're going first or second. This card is going to be a 15k attacker that does provide a counter charge for Magnolia, because as we all know, in order to generate Dragon Tree marker in the back row specifically, for every Dragon Tree generated, it actually does cost 1 counter blast. Giving the counter charge is just really good. Although it's only once per turn, but that 1 counter charge might be invaluable for more Dragon Tree marker generation. On top of being an attacker as well as giving the counter charge, this card is able to intercept from the back row, and for every single Dragon Tree marker that you have, he essentially intercept for 5k more shield. Ideally, if you have 3 Dragon Tree marker in the back row, this card can intercept for 20k shield from the back row, which is just super nice. And keep in in mind here is that it's not really the limit, because you can have more than just 3 Dragon Tree marker, if of course the Counterblast does allows it. Really great card, I would say, for Magnolia, and should be able to push Magnolia to be a little bit more meta relevant. I don't know, who knows, right? This card might just, you know, push Magnolia mass to be really good. Next, of course, for Messiah, we have Dawn of Genesis. Play this with cost Counterblast 1 if you have Alter Ego Messiah Crest. First skill, choose a unit card with Messiah and its card name from your drop, call it to rearguard circle, choose one of your opponent's rearguard and lock it. Second skill, auto. When this card is discarded from hand while paying the cost for strike, choose one of your Vanguard or Heart cards, and the cost of that card's next ability is reduced by Counterblast 1 until the end of turn. So similar to the Chrono Jet promo card, this card allows you to superior call any Messiah unit from your drop to rearguard circle. Is just really nice. And not only that, it allows Messiah to lock an extra opponent rearguard, which is, to be honest, really good, because as it stands right now, Messiah is only able to lock 1 unit, which is quite underwhelming in some sense. Since this card allows to lock 2 units, it's going to be quite significant, because after the opponent unlock their units, they are going to be bind. So depends on what unit you lock, it's actually going to be very detrimental to the opponent. The second skill is quite similar to Chrono Jet. It basically allows for a -1 Counterblast for the strike skill, which is always going to be really good, because you will always want to lock your own stuff to therefore activate their skill. So yeah, very nice bonus if you discard this card to strike. However, of course, once again, deck space in both Messiah as well as Chrono Jet is going to be really tight, but I think it's more towards Messiah, because Chrono Jet is quite flexible in terms of what to run inside the deck. So you're gonna have a hard time deciding on what to replace in terms of a Messiah deck, but if you do manage to find a balance, I think it's really good. Last but not least is going to be a promo card from Michu, a Cannonball card. Beware the Sneeze of Fireworks. It's a set order as well as a Cannonball card. Play this with Counterblast 1. Auto, when this card is put into the order zone, draw a card. Second skill, active order zone. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Michu in this card name, cost put this unit into drop, choose one of your units, and it gets 10k power until the end of turn. Choose one of your opponent's rearguard, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, that unit cannot intercept nor stand during stand phase. So this is quite similar to the grade 3 Cannonball that Michu currently have, that basically just lets you draw 1 whenever that particular set order is being set into the order zone. It's just that this is a grade 2, which could be played as soon as turn 2. Unfortunately, of course, the order zone card, which is the active ability, is only on turn 3 whenever you write into the grade 3 Michu. If you're on turn 3 and you have multiple copies of this card, you are able to give any of your units the 10k power, as well as stun the opponent's rearguard for every single copy in the order zone, which is quite huge, considering that Michu's other counterpart, which is Nokuno, is able to carry forward that power when she's moved to the Guardian Circle. On top of giving power as well as stunning the opponent, this card technically doesn't really cost you anything. You could use the grade 1 Cannonball skill to set this into the order zone and straight away just use this card. It doesn't really cost you anything. You just put this card into the drop zone and boom, you have 1 unit with 10k power as well as stunning the opponent rearguard. Quite disgusting. And of course, stunning is stunning. It might potentially cripple the opponent, especially those opponents that could not like recycle or reuse the stunned rearguard. Yeah, this card is looking to be really good for a Michu deck, but once again, deck space. So yeah, you get my point. And that is all for this video. Do let me know down in the comment section of what do you think of the promo cards for November 2023. I'm actually happy that some of the right lines is actually getting support. For example, Messiah as well as Chrono Jet. And of course, a long forgotten Michu finally gets 1 card that might potentially change how we actually play Michu. Do like and subscribe if you like this video, and of course, ring the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.